Hello out there, you wonderful people. This is Andre the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear, listening into another Magic discussion. And this time I'm going to be talking about Mega Man X Command Mission, which you would think would make a lot of sense to take this game from the PS2 and GameCube and go ahead and put it out on mobile. Because one, it's an RPG. Two, it's Mega Man. Three, it's one of those games that I feel is really underappreciated and didn't really get much. I mean, it kind of came out to a decent sized audience, but at the same time, it really didn't tread much water, if I remember correctly, back then. And it is technically part of the main storyline of the Mega Man X series. It's actually, if you go by the games in chronological order, it is literally not chronological order. Well, chronological order to the series, it's the last game in the series, even though it came out right before Mega Man X8. So, and X8 is the game before it. I could literally throw together a quick timeline of how the games work, but it's not really much point to do that because I can include the Mega Man Extreme games that were the Game Boy Color games into that as well. But I'm not doing it right now. It's a fun, interesting game, to be fully honest, and I could see this actually being ported to mobile again because it's an RPG, and it just kind of makes sense to go ahead and put something like this. Like RPGs work well on mobile because you don't have to focus on the action, and action can sometimes be slowed down by the usage of a touchscreen. Whereas with an RPG, that's not always the case. This isn't necessarily the case, especially when it's turn-based, like Mega Man X Command Mission is. And there was a decent amount of content in that game. No matter how you play, no matter what you did with it, like there was a decent amount of content. Like it was, I think the overall campaign of the game was about 15 hours. Um, but then there was also the extra stuff. I can't remember the character's name, but he was like a kitsune that you could face multiple times, and every time you fought him, he had more tails and he was stronger because he every time he had an additional tail, it took more work to beat him. I mean, like, and there's a portion of the game where you're chasing him down this I would say it's like a spiraling like staircase like drop type thing, but I can't remember fully. I know you're chasing him when you're fighting him, and he's getting stronger every time you fight him. Um, so you basically have to fight him, run away, go refill your stuff, come back and fight him again. If I remember how it went, it's been so long since I've beaten that game back on back on the PS2. Uh, I don't think like plus the story in the game is pretty interesting. I'm not going to reveal too much here, but I've talked about it in other videos before, I believe, especially what ifs, my what if series, and when I did my discussions about my character Heat. So it's one of those things where you really just have to like play the game, and this is something they could put out on the Play Store and on iOS for like $10. I don't think too many people would get mad. Um, well, maybe some people would get mad, but I mean, I personally wouldn't because it's a full game. It's a full game to itself. You don't need any like leaderboards or online stuff. It's a full game to itself that you can play offline, and you can play it on your phone and have an enjoyable time with it. Um, but there's not. Is there really anything else to talk about? Not really. I mean, it has a decent cast of characters. You're playing with X, Zero, Axel, and a few others that I cannot remember their names right now because I only played through the game really one time. I still own it, but I only played through it once. So, it's one of those that I think if Capcom were to go ahead and put it out, I mean, they already got Mega Man X Dive coming out, so to put this out alongside it wouldn't be a bad touch because it would just give two different styles of games that people could get into on mobile for Mega Man, and both of them would be pretty good. So I mean, that's really it. I don't have anything else to say. So thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears up for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games. Peace out.